Hi and welcome. This is a breakdown of my current number 1 run on Xbox for Hauntaport, with a score of 5,482,302 points. I'll walk you through the run shot by shot, explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and where things can go wrong, and why certain decisions matter. If you want to watch the full run without commentary first, you'll find it linked in the description. So with that said, let's get into it. Why am I shooting where I am shooting? For the timings of this run to work, we need to skip the opening animation as early as possible. Alright, the first 4 shots are there to put a couple of pieces in motion. Shot 1. This is a distraction shot to lure Ree-Thak, also known as Spider Lily, behind the dumpster. It is important to stay as close to the keg as possible. If you are too far away from it, 3 things can happen. First, a worker is distracted, and you will need to restart. But you will only find that out after a couple of shots, when you move to the second distraction shot for her. Second, she arrives too early, and then you cannot keep the chain going later. Third, she arrives too late, and that also throws off the timings, so you will probably lose the chain later. Shot 2. This is another distraction shot to make the guard move. Do not hit the pillar, because it will not attract the guard. He will just stand there and look stupid. Shot 3. This is another distraction shot to make the guard move toward the middle of the container. That gives you an easy moving kill later. Shot 4. This distraction shot is important for the later elimination of the 2 guards standing close to the 2 hostages. It lures the worker away from the container he is currently working on and later gives us the freedom to shoot the guards without needing to distract him, because his route will take him to the container where we hide their bodies. Shot 5. First kill. This must happen around the 5 to 6 second mark. Otherwise, the timings later will not work. Shot 6. Second kill. The elimination should happen close to the traffic cone. Otherwise, the workers, or sometimes Spider Lily, will see the elimination, and you need to restart. Shot 7. Third kill. I switched to shockwave ammunition here, because when I used other types of ammo, the guard's body never fell into the water and always just lay there. You can see in other videos that it works with other types of ammunition, but somehow not for me. Shot 8. This is a distraction shot for Lily with standard bullets. We want to get her over to the pile of garbage so we can hide her body there later. For me, it worked best to shoot between the 2 metal pipes. That caught her attention in a reliable way. The best timing is if you hit it just when the counter switches to 10 seconds. But a bit earlier or later also works. Shot 9. This is a distraction shot. We want the guard to approach the container, and that is why I am using shockwave ammunition. It's the only way to make him come over immediately. Shot 10. This is a distraction shot for later in the run, using standard bullets. When you shoot Lam Kwai and his guard close to the end, this guard will come down the ladder and see them get shot. But if you distract him here, you slow him down so you can distract him again easily on a small platform on the stairway. You have to aim away from the guard, because we cannot disturb his route at all. That would affect the ending of the run, since he is the last target. Shot 11. Fourth kill. Aim a bit ahead of his nose. Important. Immediately click reload after shooting. Shot 12. Fifth kill. Ree-Thak. This is tricky. As I said earlier, and depending on where your distraction shot was placed, it can happen that Spider Lily moves early and is already close to, or even behind, the pipes. In that case, you can restart, because even if you kill her in full motion, the moving kill chain is broken. The thing is that she is still moving at full speed, but the only explanation I could come up with is that the game has already started her stopping animation, and because of that the moving kill chain is broken. On the other hand, it can happen that she is still way behind the dumpster and you have to wait a second in real time to make her approach. If that happens, you really need to be quick for the next steps. But there is no need for a restart, because it is often possible to catch up. If everything works according to plan, she is close to the wheelbarrow. Only shoot her when she is behind it, because if you are too early, the worker who is still watching the pile of garbage will see her get shot, and you need to restart. Be aware, she is fast, so aim a bit ahead of her. Shot 13. Distraction shot. You want the guard approaching this little alley to walk toward the pile of garbage at the end of the alley. If Ree-Thak was late and the guard is already past the alley, you can restart, because all the other timings are off too. Shot 14. Sixth kill. Wait until he is close to the container. Then, right after you hit the target, make sure to release precision aim for a moment and move your aim away from the target you just hit so he can fly into the container. Shot 15. Distraction shot. Aim close to the container to lure Jin Nu there. If you are too close to the marking on the street, it can happen that you attract the guard, and then you will need to restart because the guard's timing is too slow for the streak to keep going. Shot 16. Seventh kill. It is a far shot, so adjust your aim. The good thing is that this guard is slow. Usually, if you miss, you should have time for a second shot, but not always. Shot 17. Distraction shot. This guard randomly sees the bodyguard of Lam Kwai get shot, but if you distract him here, you do not need to worry about that later. Shot 18. Eighth kill. You must wait until the guard is really close to the pile of garbage. If you eliminate him too early, the streak will get lost when you are back to the blade. This guard has a strange way of walking, and it can happen that you shoot over his head because of this unique style. Shot 19. Distraction shot. Get the blade in front of the container. Important, aim really into the corner and click reload immediately after the shot. If you are around the 28-second mark here, your timing is good. And from this point on, there are not as many things happening in parallel as there were at the beginning. Shot 20. Distraction shot. Get the guard to walk in the direction of the ship. Aim way into the corner to give yourself time for aiming later. If you shoot just as the counter switches to 31 seconds, you are on the right track. Shot 21. Ninth kill. Jin Nu. That bastard has cost me dozens, if not hundreds, of restarts. Sometimes he is too early and already way into the corner, and then the moving streak is gone. In other videos, you can see the moving streak still working even when you shoot him with wall-breaking rounds, but for me that did not work. Other times he is super late and causes the streak to end because of that. And he is insanely fast. As you can see, you need to aim way ahead because of his movement speed. Also, and again unlike in other videos, I am using shockwave ammo here to make him fall into the container. Many times, he just lay in the corner and caused a body found, so I had to restart. Shot 22. Distraction shot. Get the blade's bodyguard to walk close to the container. Aim in the middle because if you aim closer to the corner where we had the distraction shot for Jin Nu, it can happen that the guard does not hear it. Shot 23. 10th kill. Wait with shooting the guard until he is close to the ship. I switched to wall-breaking ammunition here so I do not have to reload the standard ammunition anymore. Shot 24. Distraction shot. Open the container. Shot 25. Distraction shot. Aim into the corner, but on the ground, so one of the guards standing with the hostages moves over there. Shot 26. 11th kill. I switched to shockwave ammunition again, because the guard often did not fall into the container. That ruined at least 2 perfect runs, and I was really puzzled why I was missing the last hidden bonus before I understood what had actually not worked out. Shot 27. Distraction shot. I switch again to standard bullets and distract the worker to move there. Shot 28. 12th kill. I was thinking of switching to wall-breaking ammunition for a second, but I think bodies fly a bit farther with standard ammo, although I have not actually tested that. We can eliminate the guard without further precautions because we already distracted the worker in the beginning. But it is still tricky. We need to wait until the guard is close to the container, but not too close to the door. Why? Because if you shoot too early, the guard standing with the hostages sees him getting killed, and you need to restart. If you shoot too late, the guard will not fall into the container, forcing you to fire another shot at the body, and there is no guarantee that this will hide it. Shot 29. 13th kill. Use shockwave ammo to blast the guard into the water. The other ammo types will be heard by the worker. Shockwave, funnily enough, is not. A fun fact here, on my earlier runs, the guard eliminated here was actually the final target. But at one point, I was about 300 points short of Bebmeister 47's fantastic run, and I just wanted to beat it. And the only way to do that was to get faster. That's how shots 27 and 29 came together. Shot 27 is necessary because there is no time to distract this very annoying worker earlier in the run. And since the worker hears and sees almost every elimination attempt on the guard here, the worker had to be moved out of the way. This tiny time window made it possible to move the worker just far enough away that I could still blast the guard into the water cleanly. I tried a lot of different ways to get faster, but this was the only version that stayed true to my approach and still let me keep the pace, without using the precision aim exploit to make the guard fall into the water. Shot 30. Distraction shot. It is there to get the other guard from the hostages to walk toward the container. Another fun fact, I once had a perfect run with one target left, and I was out of all 3 ammunition types. And a reload, of course, ruined the chain. I can tell you, you do not want this to happen. So I sat down and counted the ammunition I had at several points in the run to make sure this would never happen again. And switching to wall-breaking ammunition here prevents another reload of the standard ammunition. Shot 31. Distraction shot. Because we slowed down the worker, who is now on the ladder, by distracting him on the crane much earlier, we can simply shoot the platform to make him look away and continue. Shot 32. 14th kill. Shoot Lam Kwai's bodyguard. If Lam Kwai and his bodyguard are already close to the deck construction, it could be too late for the rest of the run to work. But if that happens, there is no immediate need to restart. Because of the earlier distractions of the workers, we do not need to take further precautions here. Still, I switched to standard ammunition, because wall-breaking ammunition can cause a worker to turn and see the body falling into the pit. Shot 33. 15th kill. Lam Kwai. He must not already be at the stairs. If he is, you are too late and the chain is gone, because you cannot hide him there anymore. If you want to continue the run, wait until he has reached the guardrails of the platform. Shot 34. Distraction shot. Get the guard moving toward the outer container door like we did with the other guard before. Shot 35. 16th kill. The guard is far away and walking at a normal speed, so really practice this shot, because you need to aim ahead. Usually, there is time for a second shot, but that is of course risky, since you would need to switch to another ammunition type. You need to let go of precision aim because we need the guard to be fairly close to the guardrails. If you wait for the guard to move while holding precision aim, you will lose the streak. It simply takes too long. And if the guard is too far away from the guardrails, the body will not be hidden. To make sure the body flies over the guardrails, I switched to shockwave ammunition. Shot 36. 17th kill. Shoot the guard and make him fall into the container. Again, because we distracted the worker earlier, there is no need to take further precautions here. But we still need to wait until the guard is covered by the door. Otherwise, the worker leaning on the car on the other side of the docks can see him get shot. Restart. Yes, that happened to me. That is how I know. Shot 37. 18th and last kill. Shoot the guard so he falls into the water. Do not miss. I did, at least twice. To be fair, the run was different and the last target was another one, but still, you do not want to ruin your run on the last target. A couple of closing thoughts. There are not many ways to improve this score, because the basic points for headshots, hiding, kill streak, headshot streak, and moving streak are maxed out. Of course, you can be faster, and that gives you an edge of a couple of 100 points. Or you can try to include a multi-kill bonus. But as of now, I cannot imagine where that could be possible on this map. If you are wondering what it would take to beat this record, I sincerely invite you to try. And I hope this run inspires you to do so. Thanks for watching.